Hi and welcome back everyone. Our next presenter is Paweł Strzelczyk, who is a QA lab manager. Paweł has more than 9 years of QA experience, including 5 years as QA lab manager. And in his talk, he promises to cover a wide range of QA-related issues from finding new testers to evaluation process and to maintaining the working atmosphere in the team. Please welcome Paweł.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming for my presentation. Title of my presentation is Successful Project Require Good Tester, How to Build Your Dream Team. So, first of all, let me say a few words about myself. My name is Paweł, I'm currently work as a QA lab manager. I started my working career in 2008 when I was hired as a QA tester. Then I was promoted to team leader, senior team leader, and since 2012, I'm a QA lab manager. As a team leader, I did 10 projects. Some of them are well known. For example, Devil May Cry Collection HD, or Street Fighter X Tekken, or Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, so maybe you played some of them. All right. Oh, also in this screen you can see me hiking. I love hiking. I love video games and I love hiking, so that's why I put this screen into that presentation. All right, let's move on. What I'm responsible for? I'm responsible for hiring mostly, for planning schedules, or from building project teams. When we are talking about hiring, it means that I participate in most of the QA in most of the interviews we did with those who apply for the position of QA tester. When we are talking about planning schedules, I'm responsible for confirming that we are able to do the project in provided time frames. Sometimes we have to delete the project. I also have to decide about this, or sometimes even we have to say that we are not able to do the project in provided time frames. So that could happen. Also, I'm responsible for building project teams. It means that basically I know people who I work with, I know my team leaders, I know my testers very well, so I'm able to assign them properly to the project, and I know that thanks to that the project will be successful. All right, so let's say a few words about QA. Probably all of you is somehow connected to game development. So probably you know something. However, I will tell you a few words. First of all, QA is responsible for, as the name said, assuring quality. So we have to find all of the bugs which are in the game, and all of those bugs have to be reported into the bug tracker. Moreover, we are responsible for supporting developers throughout the production process and after the release of the game. We can also provide the developers with feedback about the specific place in their game. We can give a lot of information, a lot of feedback about anything that developers would like to know about their game. And last but not least, testers who work in QA department are players too. So they can answer one very important question. Is your game fun? That's really important to know, is your game fun? And basically, testers are able to give you an answer to tell you if your game is really fun. Why do you need testers? So every video game has defects. We know that every video game has defects, and your QA team will find those defects and will report those defects into the database. So thanks to that, basically, you will be able to fix them and to release the game without bugs. Moreover, each video game could be improved from precise feedback. So as I told you, testers are players. Testers know your game very well. They could spend days, weeks, or even months testing your game. So thanks to that, they know your game very well. They could improve your game. If you are ready to listen to their opinion, if you are ready to receive feedback from them, your game could really improve. It could be much better. All right, so you know who are testers, what is QA responsible for. So the question is how to hire a good testers. How to hire a good tester. So basically, in all game dev companies, we believe that people are the most important assets of those companies. So you have to be open for everyone. Everyone should have a chance to start their working career in QA. However, it doesn't mean that you have to hire everyone, of course. It means that you have to choose the best from all those who have applied. When we are talking about recruitment process, so how we hire, how we look for those best people, look for those who will be our best testers. So basically, we have two stages recruitment process. In first phase of recruitment process, there is a written test. Written test consists three different tests. First is observation test. Second is linguistic test, and the third is reading comprehension test. And if the candidate passes that first stage, he moves to the second stage of recruitment process. Second stage of recruitment process is an interview, and after an interview, we do something which works very well for our company, which is basically a practical video gaming test. So we gave a candidate a PlayStation Vita console with a game Uncharted Golden Abyss, and the task is, please complete the prologue using standard Vita controls and dedicated controls. And thanks to that practical test, we know that the candidate is really a gamer. All right, so what else we are looking for in our candidates? We check if they are avid gamer. Avid gamer means that they know a few genres, they know several titles, they play video games, let's say, on daily or weekly basis. Moreover, great candidates have an eye for details. Without an eye for detail, they won't be able to find bugs in the game. So you have to have a candidate with an eye for details. We check that. It is checked by our observation test. Thanks to that test, we can check if the candidate has an eye for details. All right, and as my friend said, without attitude, skill is nothing. So we are looking for candidates with best motivation. Best motivation for us are candidates who want to be programmers or game designers in future, and in our opinion, that motivation is the best for the candidates who would like to join QA department. However, we are also open for other people's, even those who don't have any motivation, because we have to cooperate with very young people, sometimes 18, 19 years old, who hasn't decided yet what they want to do in future. And what's not important, for example, higher education is not important for us. We don't need candidates with higher education. We just need candidates who fulfill our demands, which were presented earlier. So, how to assign tester to the right project? When we are looking for new employees, we have a database with candidates who applied and done well on the recruitment process. And now we have to choose those who will suit us best. And we do that because we know what is their PC and console familiarization. We know what are their favorite games, what are their favorite genres. So we assigned people whose favorite genre is similar to game that person will test. So thanks to that, it's easy for those people to start a working career in our company. All right, so we have hired a person. They come to our company, and as you know, first day at work is always the hardest one, so how to make it easier? We are really well prepared. In cooperation with IT department and HR department, before the start of their work, we give them all documents they have to sign up, as well as we give them accesses to our database, to Jira and Confluence. So thanks to that, then they would be able to join the project smoothly. However, they will not join the project unless our trainings are done. At first, we inform newly hired people that this is a job, and we really underline the difference between playing video games at home for fun and doing it as a job. After that comes the general brief training. During the general brief training, newly hired people will learn more about the company, about the department, about our security policy. And then comes first QA training. First QA training is really, really important. Thanks to that, after that training, everyone is able practically to test the game. So we do this first QA training under the supervision of one of my colleagues, on an early prepared build. The newly hired people will find those first bugs. They will report them into the bug tracker. They will do their first regression test. So basically, they're ready to join the team and test the game. We also do some trainings for more experienced people. This presentation is not basically about this, but it's also worth mentioning that we do trainings in compliance area, linguistic area, or compatibility areas. All right, so let's come back to that newly hired guys. After the trainings, they will go to the QA lab, and they will meet their team leaders. Team leaders in our company are those who lead the projects. In your company, it could look differently. For example, in your company, QA project could be led by tester who would be a QA leader, or by someone who from a development department who is responsible for contact with QA. However, in our company, we have a different structure. Our structure is in this picture. It's very simple. It's very simple presentation of our structure. However, it works great for us that team leaders lead the projects. Team leaders are very experienced people. They have years of experience as a testers and as a team leaders. Their main role is to give tasks to the people in their team, to check if the tasks were done properly, to check if the issues were reported properly, to give marks at the end of each quarter, and to do feedback talks with all people in their team at the end of each quarter. Also, they are mentors for all those who are in their team, so they share their knowledge, they share their experience with everyone in their team, especially with those who are newly hired. So let's say a few words about evaluation process. There is no growth without a proper feedback, and we really believe that's true. So it's really important to let everybody know what he did well and what he did wrong during the quarter, what went well, what went wrong during the quarter. We have a special standardized document, you could see it here, with clear rules in all categories, what marks should be given, Here are our categories. We have basically 4 main categories, which is quality of work, which means how bugs were reported, what was the, how well it was those bugs were reported, how important were those bugs. The second point is organizing one's work, so it's about if the tester met the deadlines during the quarter, or basically about organizing one's work. Self-independence also is also very important in that area. It's also self-independence. Third is morale, so impact on the team. And the last one is dutifulness, so being on time, informing about absences. And even more important than marks is feedback. So we have a special field, we have a special comment field in that document at the end of that document. And each team leader, when he gives marks, he has to think what tester did well, what tester did wrong during that quarter. And then he can fill this mark field in our document properly. Moreover, in that comment area, team leader will give information about special unique talents of the testers, or maybe about his weaknesses. So, looking for talents is also very important. We are always trying to find talents to find talent in our department. So first of all, you have to get as much knowledge about tester skills as it's possible. So you have to basically know your tester, know your team, know people who cooperate with, and look for their talents. You can look for their talents by giving them chance in other testing disciplines after a proper training. So you can also, you can also see if person in your team has some special skills. Maybe he has some leadership talents, so he could lead a multiplier test, or maybe he would be good at compatibility tests because of his thanks to his education. So try to give different tasks for people in your team. So thanks to that you can find those talents. But we really rely on the opinions of our team leaders. So because they cooperate day after day with their team, they know their people, we really rely on their opinions and It is also very important to be open-minded for all ideas which could arrive from everyone in your department. So door to our room are always open. We are ready to listen to everyone, especially testers, because some things that are clearly visible for testers are covered for us. We don't see them, so we can't fix them, or we can't improve something which is covered for us. So we are always ready to listen to the ideas, especially especially for those which come from testers. And in this screen you can see me and my friend Łukasz, because we established something like Team Leaders Watch. We have an open door for everyone, but sometimes maybe someone don't want to share their problems in our room where there is like 6 people sitting together. Maybe someone want to talk one-on-one. So every week we have 1 hour specially designated for talk with everyone in our department, and during that 1 hour, everyone can come to us, they can share their problems, they can give us an idea if they have any. So we have something like this, and it also works for us. Also, at the end of each year, we do something which we call, we are responsible for talking with everyone in our department. We talk with everyone in our department. During that talk, we want to receive information about their ideas, their opinion, what could be improved in our department. Also, about how did they cooperate with the team leaders during that year? What do they think about team leaders? What could be improved? So we are trying to receive that feedback basically from everyone in our department. So also, keeping the good work atmosphere in the team is really important. As you may know, we are working in game industry crunch times or over hours are, let's say, normal thing. So sometimes there could be really hard days. It could be really hard days, and we also had such hard days. And when everything goes wrong, when everything goes wrong, when those hard days arrive, we say to ourselves, we are a team, we can overcome those problems. Yeah, we underline the importance of cooperation, and we know that only being a team can assure that all problems can be overcome. But, however, sometimes some problems could arrive because of lack of knowledge. So it's really important to have knowledge sharing point. And for us, Confluence page, which is our know-how page, works really great. Everyone can access to that page. That page basically stores all information we acquire for all those years. So there are information about our department, information how to test the game, information about all tests we do. And if there is lack of knowledge, if someone needs more knowledge, he can easily access to that Confluence page and get knowledge he needs. It's very important to keep equal demands and rules for everyone, so being fair, keeping to the rules, knowing your team, which I told you earlier, is really, really, really important. We believe that communication is the key. Of course, we use emails, but we love kickoff meetings. Kickoff meetings we do not only at the very beginning of each project, but also whenever the new build arrives, or during the test cycle when something important happened and there is a need for doing a kickoff meeting. And during those kickoff meetings, team leaders share information with their team, what dev department demands from them, or what devs generally, maybe not dev department, what devs generally demands from them, what they will have to do, what are the plans. Also, in such informal situation, it's easier for them to ask questions. So thanks to that, sometimes they are able to ask questions they wouldn't normally ask on the project. However, as I said, emails are very important. For example, tasks have to be always sent via email. All right, so as I told you earlier, there are hard days in our industry, there are days which are hard. So it's nice to go after that day, after over hours, for example, after crunch time, to go on a beer together. Who doesn't like a free beer, of course? And on that integration, on that meetings, you can better integrate with your team. You can better, you can get more information about your colleagues. You can meet them better. You can understand them better. So your team would be more integrated, and it would be easier for those people to overcome any other problems which could happen. And here is a very old Polish car which was painted and changed, let's say, by people from on one of our party. It happened last year. So thank for your attention. I gave you some information about recruitment process, about importance of the QA, about importance of feedback. I hope you enjoyed.
Perhaps you have some questions? One.
Hi, thanks for presentation. And you mentioned that you have some kind of tests for testers or for your candidates. In the beginning, I'd like to check the gaming experience of the candidate. And the question is, do you have some baseline for hard or technical skills of a future candidate and some tests? And what's this baseline? Maybe programming, a bit of programming skills, hardware administration, or something like this. Of course, it depends on project, but maybe it's something common.
So if you are talking about practical gaming skills, yes, you are asking what is the bottom line for being hired if you are talking about practical gaming?
From technical point of view, I mean, maybe he should know something, some testing theory.
No,
or something like this.
If we are talking only about technical point of view, we don't expect that the candidate will know anything. We just demand that he plays video games. But we can teach him everything. So we are open for every candidate, as I told you. We are open for every candidate, and every candidate can come to, can apply for this position. We don't need any specific information about hardware. They don't need to know anything very specific about hardware, any specific about any technical details. However, we expect that the candidate is an avid gamer who plays video games, and that's what we expected. And we check this, of course.
Thank you.
So does this mean that you don't have any internal hierarchy within a QA team under one team lead? So you don't have any like junior, senior, middle?
Of course we have. Of course we have. The structure of our department was a very simple one. Our structure consists 5 different testers positions, 2 different team leader positions. So it means that we have junior tester, regular tester, senior tester, as well as we have QA specialists and compliance engineers, and even senior compliance engineers who are expert at compliance.
But what happens then if, for example, senior tester leaves the team or leaves the company, and you need to find a replacement for him, but your policy for hiring means that you basically hire a person who doesn't know the specifics of testing itself. So are you like promoting it, promoting people in a row, like who was middle becomes senior, who was junior becomes middle, and then junior comes again from the scratch, something like that?
We are big enough to replace the one who leaves by another senior tester from other project. And so that's why our promoting policy is to have enough people to always be able to replace them if they leave the company. So if senior tester leaves, we are able to replace them. Sometimes it's hard, of course. Sometimes it's very, very hard. Sometimes tasks which should be done by senior testers are done, for example, is given to testers who are less experienced but are still able to do that task well.
Thank you.
Здравствуйте, Павел. Hello, Pavel. My question is about how you... You said that you appoint tasks within the team through emails. Are there any other instruments that you use? For example, bug tracking system or trailing system or other channels of communication within your team? This is my first question. And the second question, what is your... how long do you follow the person who comes, the newbie? How long do you train him or oversee his work? So.
Tasks within the team, do you use email or some specific task program? And the second one, how do you train the newcomers? Is there a particular program, and what is the duration of the program?
All right, let's start with the first question. We always send the task by email because it's easy to track the task, and it's more formal way. Everyone knows what they have to do. However, of course, the tasks are tracked in other programs, let's say, so, but generally we send them via email, so everyone every day receive an email with tasks. About trainings. So we have an early prepared build of the game which was already tested, and that game is released. Right now you can buy that game in the shop if you want, but it doesn't important what is the title of the game. However, the tester will come to the first QA training. He will find his first issue, which could be found in that build. He will report those issues. He will make also regression because this build have some bugs fixed in that build. So thanks to that, newly hired person is able to make his first regression. And could you repeat what was the second part of that question?
What is the period of the learning, of the education for the newcomers?
Well, basically, first QA training is 6 hours long. So it's not short, but it's not too long. However, we believe that you have to improve yourself day after day. So even after that first QA training, you can say that you know everything for sure. You will learn more on the project.
I guess that's all. Let's give a round of applause to our speaker. Thank you.
Thank you.